My father died owing nobody anything. Then the IRS contacted me about his second social security number. He'd had it since 1987. I'm 35, forensic accountant. I trace financial fraud for a living. Dad died in October. Heart attack, quick, no warning. I was his only next of kin. I started settling his estate the following week. Standard stuff until a federal notice arrived addressed to his name at my address. A second social security number, active since 1987, with outstanding tax filings. Dad was born in 1961. He'd been running two identities for longer than I'd been alive. I didn't call the IRS back immediately. I pulled the second number through every database I have access to professionally. It had a full life attached, employment history, 2 addresses, a vehicle registration that lapsed in 2019. The name attached wasn't my father's name, different first name, same last name. Like he'd kept the family name but shed everything else. I sat with that for a long time before I told anyone. I traced the second identity's address history, 2 locations over 30 years, an apartment in another state through the 90s, then a house purchased in 2003. The house was 40 minutes from where I grew up. 40 minutes. I pulled the property records, purchased jointly. The co-buyer was a woman named Renata, 58. I ran her name. No criminal record, no flags. Just a woman who'd apparently bought a house with my father and lived in it for 20 years. I drove to the house on a Saturday. Told myself I was just going to look. A woman answered the door before I reached the porch, like she'd seen me coming. She looked at my face and her expression shifted into something complicated and sad. She said, "You must be his daughter." I asked how she knew. She said, "You have his eyes and I've been expecting someone to show up for 30 years. I stood on that porch completely still. Renata made coffee and told me everything at her kitchen table. She'd met my father in 1986. They'd built a life together. He'd told her he had a complicated past he couldn't fully leave. She'd accepted that. She said she hadn't known about my mother until years in, and by then she loved him. She pulled a photo album from a cabinet. My father, younger, smiling in someone else's kitchen, someone else's Christmas, someone else's entire life. There were no other children. She told me that before I could ask. I think she knew that was the thing I needed to know most. What she did have were 30 years of a man I thought I knew completely. Different name, different life, same laugh in every photo. I went through that album for 2 hours. He looked happy. He looked happy in my childhood photos too. I don't know what to do with that. The IRS matter resolved through the estate. The liability was manageable, the filing gaps correctable. The legal side was actually the easy part. My mother is still alive. She doesn't know yet. I've been trying to figure out for 3 months whether telling her protects her or just transfers pain she doesn't need at 68. My therapist says it's not my secret to carry. I understand that intellectually. Emotionally, I'm still working on it. Renata and I have met twice since that Saturday. Carefully, slowly, 2 people figuring out what they are to each other through a man who never let either world touch the other. She's not a villain in this. Neither is my mother. My father held 2 lives apart for 30 years and the only person who knew the whole truth just died in October. I find hidden money for a living. I know that what's buried always surfaces eventually. I just never thought I'd be the one doing the digging.